we get
We
started.
should probably get started.
So,
welcome to the Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators. I'm Dan.
And I'm Steve.
And today we're joined by the Bantering Banshees.
Hi. Hello.
Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators.
Hello, Jill and Steph. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh,
it's so nice. Do you know what? The other day we were talking to somebody and there was a huge time delay. You're across the planet and there's no time delay here. This is great.
Yes.
Satellites are working.
Oh, yeah. Technology.
And that guy literally lives 40-minute drive away from me.
Yeah.
If that. Yeah. But yeah.
So we're in Old England. You're in New England. Is that right?
That's true. You guys, yes, as we discussed, you guys are the OG England, and we are the new England. We are the new generation England.
Oh. Well,
you're doing a fine job of it. Yeah.
Yeah. We try.
Well, we've got a very English ghost story today, which we thought, unite the Old England, the New England. And I understand the thing that we're going to talk about is one of your specialist subjects, Steph, with history. And we're going to be talking about the ghost of Anne Boleyn.
I'm so excited. Jill did give me a little heads up before we started that this is what we were talking about, and I was giddy with excitement, as giddy as when you guys told us this is gonna. So I know a lot about the history of her, but I don't know all that much about her actual ghost and where she haunts and all that. So that stuff I am interested to hear about.
Well, I'm tempted to just throw control over to you to tell us all about her execution.
Oh gosh.
No, normally I read the stories out, but as we've got an expert on the topic, it would feel rude to.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing worse than being corrected on our own podcast. That's the best thing. So you guys do it.
Throw an actually. We call those actually moments, because we go, actually, it was this.
We won't do that today.
Fair.
Because we're going to learn. We're going to learn. This. Yes. So, I mean, Anne Boleyn was very interested in life, and like I said, we found out she's very interested in death as well. So would you like to tell our audience about Anne Boleyn?
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, Steph. Go.
I was like, well, I will just say my opinion of her is she was a woman ahead of her time, no pun intended with the head, but she was feisty, and she had a reputation for not wanting to follow rules and making things work for her when they weren't necessarily looking like they were going to. She was like, oh, that's cute. You think I'm going to listen to this? Step aside. I'm going to make my own judgments. She definitely, clearly made a name for herself.
Definitely.
She was educated in, was it France and the Netherlands? So she was educated outside of the UK, outside of England.
Yes. She was removed because she did not want to be a part of the court, and she did not want to do what she was told to. She married somebody that she was not supposed to, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna send you away, and this marriage never happened, and we're gonna send you to be educated and come back as a lady of the court. And yeah, that was her reintroduction back to British society. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan.
No, you're
fine.
Me to
stop.
No, you keep going. Yeah.
So she wanted to get away from it all, but she had to get thrown right back in. She tried to escape, but couldn't do. It's almost like it was her destiny to become this amazing figure in history.
Yeah.
Yeah. and of course towards the end of her life, because I guess we got to start with the end of the life, really, because to talk about the ghost, we need to talk about what caused her to be a ghost.
Correct.
So yes, Henry VIII, fell in love with Jane Seymour. As we know, he was a bit of a ladies' man, went from lady to lady to lady, fell in love with Jane Seymour and wanted Anne Boleyn out the way. And Anne Boleyn had only produced Elizabeth, who would be Elizabeth the First.
A minor character in history. Yeah,
who's
so
a minor
unimportant,
character.
minor.
Just that one.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But to Henry, she was a lady, she was a girl, therefore not good enough for the throne because it needs to be a male heir. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't like her. He also wanted to get with Jane Seymour, and there was the whole historians think they're now fabricated. The trial that she had of being charged of adultery, incest, and treason, believed were fabricated by Thomas Cromwell, who I believe is a relative, a great granduncle or something to Oliver Cromwell. Feel free, people listening, to Google that. But he is related to Oliver Cromwell, who, of course, abolished the throne many years later. But yes, so Thomas Cromwell.
They were quite serious allegations, weren't they? I mean, the charges,
Quite
they
serious.
definitely threw the book at her, didn't they? There wasn't much more they could have done.
Oh yeah, no, they were making sure she was held for something, and if it wasn't going to be for one, it was going to be one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely made it almost impossible for her to even get out.
Yeah, and I think Mark Smeaton, he was involved as well with saying that there were confessions made about incest and trying to kill Henry and all sorts of things just thrown out there to say she did this, she did that, she did this, she did that, and eventually,
do you know what? If that happened these days, you would just be Prince Andrew. Sorry,
Shots
just Andrew.
fired.
Sorry,
yeah, just Andrew now.
yeah,
the monarch formerly known as Prince.
Formerly known as. Oh man!
Actually, like I said, having incestuous relationships with his brother is about the only person he didn't have incestuous relationships with. Is pretty much everybody else. Sorry.
Pretty much.
As always, send all complaints to 10 Downing Street. We are both Keir Starmer. Yes, so she was.
They had to be fabricated charges because nobody would have that much spare time on their hands to do all the things they said she did. You would have to be really productive, a very productive person to do that.
And let's face it, she's surrounded by like her ladies in waiting. Like she's never alone. Like even using a chamber pot, she was never alone. So how are you telling me she orchestrated and created all of these things, planning to kill the king? The incest thing was like, okay, you guys are really, really reaching here. Like you are just hoping for absolutely anything to keep her down. She would have had to do a lot of manipulating to get away from people, to be around only specific people. And not to say that she couldn't, but I feel like they really just went for it all. And they're like, something's going to be not even stick, but something's going to be believed.
Yeah.
Like it's coming from a man. They're not going to lie. So of course the men are going to believe what this guy is telling them. So they're like, yeah, we'll believe something.
Yeah.
And so that was 3 years after she gave birth to Queen Elizabeth. Not Queen Elizabeth. So it's only 3 years difference between the birth and suddenly the trial.
And she had a number of miscarriages in between, and one of them was believed to be a son. And that was kind of where like Henry was like, oh, you could have given me a son, but your body failed you, like you're not good enough. It's like, oh God, he was
wretched.
He was a piece of shite.
He was. But he's a piece of shite that we never forgot. He's
That's
just,
for sure. Yeah, he's a memorable shite.
but on the other hand, because without him being, doing the things he did, we've never forgotten the names of his wives who all suffered under him. So, and I think he is known as being a villain. I mean, that's
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
And it's interesting with the monarch's history because the kings that are remembered are all remembered because they did something horrible, whereas the queens that are remembered are all the ones that were amazing and gave something brilliant to the world. Everybody knows Queen Victoria because the Victorian era and the industrialization that happened. Elizabeth II, she's never going to be forgotten. Whereas the kings that are remembered, Henry VIII, who did all the things with his wives, Charles I, who ended up getting beheaded because of the whole argument between royalty and parliamentarians, King John, remembered for the taxes, so much so that you've got all the Robin Hood legends around him. You've got pretty much all of the kings that are really remembered. There's something bad that links to them.
Yeah, pretty sure your current king is definitely not going to be remembered for the positivities.
No, but he's
Diana was everything.
But this is the other thing you were saying about that, Dan. But if you actually look at the details of the queens and what they did, if you actually go into they did some brutal things as well. The queens were not perfect. The queens were known for being great, but they were brutal. Queen Elizabeth, you just name them, you go into the details. We just don't remember those bits. We remember them being the queens.
Because they were lovely ladies. That's what you remember them being, lovely ladies.
I think Queen Elizabeth ordered more beheadings than any other monarch. I think she, she executed more people than anybody else. But we don't remember that part. She's just a great queen.
But we do remember her.
No. Talk about that later.
That's it.
That's not important.
Well, we have a whole nursery rhyme about her sister and all the deaths that her sister caused. Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? That's all about. So those of you listening, Steph's face is now shocked. Mary, quite contrary is about Queen Mary.
Just sing it down.
All of the beheadings. Okay.
Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow?
With cockle shells and silver bells and pretty maids all in a row.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Mary, being quite contrary, is her because she acted contrarily to her Protestant father, because of all the Catholicism. The garden growing is about the Protestant martyrs who are executed under her reign, with the garden being a graveyard. The silver bells and cockle shells are torture devices. The thumb screws and the genital clamps are used for confessions. And the pretty maids all in a row is either the maiden, which was a type of guillotine, or the retirement of the Protestant clergy.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
You guys are messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Holy heck. You've got Ring Around the Rosie talking about the plague, and now we've got Mary talking about... I thought cockle shells were flowers. Oh, my God.
Genital clamps, apparently.
Oh, my... Oh.
However, if you go back to the
some island somewhere, they're still being used.
But then you have got the 18th century version, which was Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells, sing cuckolds all in a row. And cuckolds being exactly as you think.
Oh, okay, that one I have not heard.
No.
I have not heard that version. God.
Yeah, that's the 18th century version, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
You guys really love your morbid humor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are like, ooh, let's sing about kids skipping around a plague pit. Yes, that's gonna be a ringer.
You always got to look on the bright side of life.
Yeah.
Let's put some optimism on this.
We get to skip around the dead people because we're not dead. Yay!
We're not dead, that's it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! Oh my God, that's gonna be
awesome.
No, but just that bit of information, I had no idea that's what that.
I've got a feeling before we get much into this, Dan's gonna have a load more for you.
I can't.
Oh,
wait.
I do.
I can see his face. He's like, I've got more. You think that's bad? Wait for this one.
Yeah. Well, Humpty Dumpty was about a cannon falling off a castle. So Humpty Dumpty is often drawn as an egg because he broke and all the king's horses, all the king's men. It was actually a cannon that fell off the top of a castle and broke, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put the cannon back together again. And the cannon was called Humpty Dumpty. Yeah.
Weapons of war.
But why is he an egg?
Because that's what they've always drawn him as in sort of nursery rhyme books and things. Because eggs break. Yeah.
So do cannons now.
So do cannons. It fell off and
So
all the
cannons.
wheels and that fell apart. Yeah.
Oh shit!
No. Yeah, a lot of
Damn.
nursery rhymes are based on sort of stories that have never they've passed down to sort of never forget the story or the history behind it. Yeah, there's a lot of nursery rhymes do have some sort of meaning or usually historical meaning to it. Like you correctly said, Ring a Ring a Rose is all about the Black Death. Yeah.
And it's so cheery.
It's so cheery.
It's
I remember dancing around with my friends in like kindergarten singing.
ashes, ashes. We all fell down. Everyone fell down. We're all like, "Ah!" Like, oh my god.
And
bad.
yeah, and London Bridge was literally about London Bridge when it was all falling apart, which is now in
Yes!
America. That bridge that was falling down is now in America, weirdly enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the current London Bridge that's there is a very ugly bridge with loads of cars going over it. Yeah. Anyway, random thing there. We've gone completely off the rails talking about nursery rhymes there.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah, detour. Back to Anne Boleyn. So 19th of May. So she's been accused of everything. 19th of May, 1536. She's in the Tower of London. She's taken to the scaffold, and according to Edward Hall, who was a chronicler at the time, she said to the crowd, "Good Christian people, I have not come here to preach a sermon. I have come here to die. For according to the law, and by the law I am judged to die, and therefore I will speak nothing against it. I am come hither to accuse no man. I pray God save the king, and send him long to reign over you. For a gentler nor a more merciful prince was there never. To Jesus Christ I commend my soul. Lord Jesus, receive my soul." And apparently it's all, and part of her legacy does talk about the fact that she was still a very religious woman until the end.
Very, very, very religious.
Everybody had to be back then. You were going to die by the time you're 25. There had to be some hope of something good.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody lived in hope. But that does sound like something that the press would have made that one up. I bet that's not what she said.
Right?
Yeah. I bet she said something a little bit ruder.
Yeah.
Right? She was probably up there like,
Yeah. That's it.
and then we're
Yeah,
like,
think-
oh, listen to how eloquently she died. And really, she was
She
up
said,
there.
"God save the king." Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Was it save?
May
She
he-
said. Yeah.
Maybe, may he reign? I'm sorry.
Whereas Charles the First, because that was all told by the parliamentarians, there's all the things of how people had rags of cloth and holding it up to get the blood splatter from his beheading, and then were selling off bits of bloodied rag to
Oh.
people as souvenirs. Like, who wants some of the king's blood? There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
That's
So-
like in is it Shrek when the
Yes,
girl blows
yeah,
up and
like
she's
in Shrek. That beheading scene in Shrek. I remember that one. That
Yeah,
must be
I
the US version. We definitely seen that one.
Wait, hold on. Give her a minute.
Okay.
She has an idea. We've got to work it out. Okay. Are
Okay,
you
okay.
sure it's Shrek?
I could have sworn it's one of those Disney movies and someone blows up and the little girl's like, I got the head. I think it was when Shrek is like killing the people in the pit. Oh.
The first Shrek film, the battle with Lord Farquaad.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't like it's
the
one of
hell-
the
the
little
knight's
girls.
helmet.
She says hit him with the chair.
No. I
Yeah.
could have sworn there's a spot where a little girl gets like a body part.
I thought it was
Probably.
the helmet of a knight. Is it not? I think it's a helmet of a knight, doesn't it? Land.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I think something like that.
Well, something grotesque happened, and the little girl was very excited.
Well, that's what made it
maybe-
appealing to adults as well as children. So that's why it's a family film.
Yes, that's why it has gone the test of time, because adults are like,
That's why it's a classic.
shit is wild. I'll never forget seeing the second one, and Pinocchio is told to lie to make his nose grow, and he's like, what am I supposed to wear? And they're like, tell him you're wearing women's underwear, and he's like, I'm wearing women's underwear, and his nose grows.
No,
And
his nose doesn't grow.
It doesn't.
His nose doesn't grow. And they're all like, are you? And he's like, no, of course I'm not. And then it grows. I remember seeing that when I was like 10 or 11, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, puppets wear underwear. I was like,
Puppets wear underwear.
Just underwear,
that's
not
what I
ladies'
got
underwear.
from that scene. I was like, that's great.
I only discovered in the last couple of years that Shrek was based on a book. And I bought a copy of the book, and when it wasn't the last time Steve was here, it was a time before. And I said to him, "Did you know Shrek was a book?" And he went, "No." And I gave him the copy of the book to look at. It's the weirdest children's book ever.
I did not know this was a book.
Yeah,
recommend it. You've got to find it. Seriously, you'll love it.
It's absolutely nuts, and how it ended up turning into the film it is today, I will never know. How somebody looked at this book and went, "That's movie material." Yeah, no, I don't. It's a bit like
was in the works for so long that Chris Farley was originally supposed to voice Shrek.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how weird of a book it was if it took them that long to make it into a movie. They were like, oh, no, we can't, we got to cut that part out. We got to change that.
Well, he sort of finds Princess Fiona, who's an ogre. Says nothing about her being a princess. She's just an ogre that he finds and is married by an alligator. So there's an alligator that is wearing these ceremonial robes and casually marries them.
I need to read this book.
And at one point, Shrek can breathe fire, apparently. Do look for it. It's insane.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a bit like the original Iron Man book, which is completely different to the Iron Giant film. Completely different. Because the Iron Man book...
Once you get Robert Downey Jr., it's never going to be like that.
Because in the Iron Man, it's sort of like you've still got the robot, you've still got Hogarth, the little boy, and instead of the military trying to use him as a weapon, there's the moon hatches as an egg, and it's a dragon, and the robot has to fight a dragon, and then then it gets
so
all
much
weird.
Cooler.
Isn't that the story from Game of Thrones?
No, that's a little different.
No. That's where her dragon eggs came from. That the
There's
sun,
no robot though.
No, but the sun cracked open and outspilled dragons.
Well,
Sorry,
no,
our
Yeah,
AD
you're
is
fine.
like on it.
She was given dragons for a wedding present.
The dragon eggs that
Right.
were supposed to not be real dragons because all dragons were extinct at that point, but they were born in the fire. And that's where dragons were rumored to come. The sun had cracked open and dragons spilled. We'll talk later.
Well, we were talking about incest with Royal Family, Anne Boleyn with her
Game
brother.
of Thrones. Shrek and Game of Thrones. We carried that theme on.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna transition right back to that. Okay.
What other great incest legends do we have we could talk about?
Time's up.
Yeah.
Oh
Where
my
did we
god,
get-
if my
where
contacts
did
were
we-
dry, they're not now.
Nope, not anymore.
Where did we even get to with the Anne Boleyn story? Where did we get to? She's dead now. That's where we got to. Anne Boleyn is dead.
That's
No,
right.
We should probably
famous
now
last
get
words.
on to all of the ghosts now, shouldn't we? We should actually probably talk about the ghosts of her. Yeah. So
Ghosts. Seriously,
Yeah.
it was just such a
There's-
boring life.
yeah, There's ghosts now. I've just completely lost the plot now. There were ghosts. There we go. End of episodes. There's ghosts. Anne Boleyn's now a ghost. There we go. Done. End of
She has to
episode.
go.
Bye.
She holds her
yeah.
head. She scares the people.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons Anne Boleyn does go back to the theme of this, one of the reasons there is a theme, there is a topic. We found out Anne Boleyn there's more ghosts of Anne Boleyn than any other person. I've got a list here of at least 30 different locations she has a ghost sighted at.
Ooh,
So she isn't
yeah.
just in the Tower of London, where you would think it would be the Tower of London, where she was beheaded, but it's everywhere, from anywhere she was born to streets she used to walk down to halls to. I've got the biggest list here of ghost sightings for Anne Boleyn, and this is something. I don't know what you feel about ghosts, and have you seen? Because I know you've done a lot of looking into this, ghosts and sightings, and
Yeah.
do you find the same ghosts ever in different locations, or are they always different ghosts? Or because now here, obviously, we got people there's lots of Charles Dickens ghosts. Lord Nelson has ghosts all over the place. So does Walter Raleigh, but nobody like.
So I believe, and I'm pretty sure Steph's on the same level because we've talked about this before, but I feel like they can walk through portals to get where they need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so like with the Bell Witch, she could be found in her house or her land area where she was. Yeah. And then she could be found all the way in England a couple seconds later. And so I feel like spirits can walk through portals to end up wherever they want to be. And so she could be seen at the London Tower and 2 seconds later found at her home.
Okay.
So do you believe that ghosts are sentient, or some of them? Do you think there's different types of sightings and different types of ghosts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that there are definitely some that are residual hauntings.
Absolutely.
And they just are where they are due to whatever keeps them there. And I think that there are also more intelligent, interactive type spirits where they aren't tied to a place necessarily, but you may be interacting with them at a place and they can go like the Bell Witch story that Jilla just referenced, there's an account of the witch being in like 2 places, but there's like one was in Pennsylvania and one was in Tennessee. And it's like, those are states away. There's no way that could happen. But then when you start realizing like, well, she wasn't ever tied to a place, maybe this spirit was tied to a person, then you're gonna get different interactions in different places.
But I feel like residual, so if I were to die and I decided I wanted to haunt the S.K. Pierce mansion for the rest of my life, my residual energy could still be in the house and people would still hear my footsteps going down the stairs because that's what I did every single day. But yet my spirit body is actually at the S.K. Pierce mansion. So you have residual here just from me walking down the stairs every day. But when my intelligent spirit is at the mansion.
Yeah, this is more like your energy and
right.
Like
so I think you can definitely be at 2 places at once. You just don't know if you're getting residual or if you're getting the actual intelligent spirit body.
Okay. Yeah,
That
interesting way to.
Yeah. Well,
I finally got to weigh in. I don't know the history part.
No, what you're saying there is great. What you were saying about energy. The spirit being energy, which again we've mentioned this a few times on the podcast, because we went on a ghost tour with a spiritualist, with a medium, and his theory on why there's ghosts in multiple locations of the same spirit is because the energy that is our soul or whatever it is that leaves, because you can't destroy energy, whatever it is, it has to carry on. That energy can be anywhere at any one time, because that's basically laws of physics. That there's so there's no reason why it couldn't be. And I've got to say as well, it's the more we look into it, the more it makes sense. It's just something we don't understand yet.
Definitely.
But it's really hard. Well, I was just going to say something there. It's weird that a couple of weeks ago my dad passed away, and We
Oh
were
my
at the home there he died, and there was no feeling there of anything, as far, and we know that people die there all the time because it's where
Mhm.
people, it's a hospice basically, but it didn't feel like that anywhere. But there, if there was residual or something, maybe if it's your energy, that you wouldn't want to be there because you would
Mhm.
want to be somewhere else. So if that was intelligence, you would go. But if it was,
Yeah.
there was no feeling of any kind of residual haunting or anything, and everybody there was chilled and relaxed, and everybody was wonderful, but it just didn't feel like it was a place that anybody experienced anything like that. But it's a
Mhm.
place where lots of people go to die.
Absolutely.
But it's just very odd that you'd think like a place like that, everybody was saying, just don't go down that corridor, or this is where we hear, or they'd be talking to somebody who they knew had passed away months before and they're still hanging around.
Yeah.
But it's like, but then we look at Anne Boleyn with like 50 different places. She's obviously liked to get around.
Yeah, and she
but
was not one to be forgotten. So she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
gonna see me and you're gonna remember me. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not going down without a fight." Which is why I don't
Yeah.
believe that little speech she did at the end.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm looking here
Yeah.
at the hauntings, her hauntings. Apparently, the very first one was in the 1500s, basically just after she was executed, and they said that people seeing her headless ghost walking the Tower of London. That was just shortly after her execution. So almost straight away, people were seeing ghosts of Anne Boleyn.
But
The
how do they
beheaded
know
Anne
if
Boleyn.
it's her without a head?
Well,
I think
she's known
maybe
to
because
carry her head.
But also, it was in their timeline. They probably would have been the people there who were there at the execution. They would have seen it. They
Oh,
would have
that's
seen what
true.
she. So
That's
these are people
true.
who are actually at the tower. So people at the tower reporting
Hmm.
what they recognise as being her ghost, which again, it's really unusual to actually have this timeline of the sightings.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
We've
until
got
I was going to say 17th century. It was 100 years later. She then started getting spotted at Windsor Castle, which is
Huh.
30, 25 miles away from. So it took her like 100 years to get to another castle.
in Dean's Cloister, and she was running through the corridors at Windsor Castle.
Looking for a
Apparently.
head.
And now Windsor Castle was it built at the time that she was executed, or was it built after?
Oh, do you know? I don't know in Windsor Castle. I think that was there for a.
Windsor
I mean, you guys have things
Castle.
there for like ever, so
Yeah.
I would say it's, without googling, I would say it's definitely been there probably since what, 11th century. Should I Google it? Let's Google it.
Yeah, Google it. It's
Give
our
it a
favourite thing,
Galoogle.
Googling. What else have we got there? So in the
Windsor
17th
Castle
century,
was built in the 11th century after the Norman invasion of England. Since the time of Henry I, it's been used by the monarch and is the longest occupied palace in Europe.
Okay, so
so
it was there before her
So,
beheading.
Yeah,
So then I wonder-
500 years before her beheading.
Okay, so like a
So
week and a
she would've-
half. Got it.
Yeah.
so she probably would have stayed there. Yeah, she would have stayed there. I'm sure.
So
That's where
yeah,
she would have been.
then that's probably a place that held like good memories for her if that's where she went back to.
And allegedly, Henry VIII and Elizabeth I are also seen there as ghosts. So Anne and Elizabeth tend to be seen either in Dean's Cloister or the library, walking through there. Henry's footsteps can be heard in the corridors of the castle.
And what's Dean's Cloister?
Actually, it's the chapel or something there. It's
Yeah.
got to be. It's got to be the chapel.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the open arch walkway in the east side of St George's Chapel.
Gotcha.
Sounds like a fish market.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, is that like the entryway? Like, sorry, very basic Americans.
Although the bit I like here about Henry VIII being there, it says Henry's footsteps echo along the corridors, and people have heard him moaning and groaning as he pulls his ulcerated leg behind him.
Oh,
Oh my god!
I could
sounds
see
like
what
he
they
had a
all
good
saw in
ending.
him.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Did you know?
Um,
I was just reading here. King George III apparently saw Anne Boleyn's ghost on the battlements of Windsor Castle. So George III, but of course George III was quite nuts. So I looked it up even further, and then there's actually whatever this other searcher did, it said, no, he didn't see a ghost, but he did have a conversation with Elizabeth I. So he didn't see Anne Boleyn, but he had a conversation with Elizabeth I in his syphilis-riddled madness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A great
king.
Poor man.
And over in Hampton Court Palace, which is very sort of synonymous with Henry VIII and history there, you've got Anne is seen there wearing a blue dress, walking slowly, looking sad. And apparently Jane Seymour, who died at Hampton Court Palace, is also seen there as a ghost.
You think they get together and talk shit about George or Henry? Henry.
Yeah.
They're like, I have got some tea for you.
Like, oh girl, I knew it wasn't you. I knew you were the good one.
Can I just double check? Where was Anne Boleyn born? Does anybody remember that?
I do. Because it's my home county. It's Blickling Hall in Norfolk.
Blickling Hall. Okay, so
yeah,
taking the right, Anne Boleyn was born in Blickling Hall in Norfolk. Dan did an impression of Anne Boleyn a few minutes ago at her execution. Dan, I would now like you to do Anne Boleyn's speech at her execution with your Norfolk accent. Not that posh London, your Norfolk accent, because that was her accent.
Oh. Out with it.
Good Christian people, I not come here to preach a sermon. I come here to die. For according to the law and by the law, I am judged to die, and therefore I will speak nothing against it. I am come hither to accuse no man. I pray God save the king and send him long to reign over you. For a gentler nor a more merciful prince was there never. To Jesus Christ I commend my soul. Lord Jesus, receive my soul. Thank you.
I don't think she was executed for any of those crimes. I think it was the accent she was executed for. There was no way Henry was going to have an heir with that accent, honestly.
Troy's like, I just can't do it anymore.
He's like, listen, it's different in the bedroom, but I cannot. I can't. You've got to handle that.
He used to say, talk dirty to me. That's what he meant. Talk like
Oh, we got to go into the fields there and pull up all the wheat. It's very muddy trotting across those fields.
Oh, Anne, yeah.
Well, I
plough
like
my
that.
field, Anne. Plough my field.
And my corn.
He's been nibbling.
My ribs hurt. But well, I'm glad that you've mentioned Norfolk and where she was born, because Blickling Hall, apparently she appears there on the anniversary of her death. So she was born in Blickling Hall, and on the May the 19th, on the anniversary of her death, it said that she returns to Blickling Hall. But it gets even better than that, because not only does Anne's ghost appear at Blickling Hall on the 19th of May, it's also apparently her brother, George Boleyn, is seen being dragged across the countryside by 4 headless horses. So that happens on May the 19th. And even better than that, her father has... pardon, sorry?
Why are the horses headless?
I don't know. It just says headless horses. Don't know.
That's because we have like a headless horseman, but like
we do the horses here. We do the horses. It's the horses.
Yeah. We don't behead the people. We behead their horses.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, going further, talking of headless horsemen, there is also a headless horseman, because also on the 19th of May, her father, Sir Thomas Boleyn, is said to be seen on a trip. So he starts at Blickling Hall, which is where he lived, and he is seen on May the 19th, and he is headless himself on with a ghostly coach, and he crosses over several bridges. So he starts at Blickling Hall, and he goes towards Wroxham, crossing 12 bridges as he goes. So again, this is also his ghostly carriage is also apparently has headless horses. So not only is he headless, the horses are also headless, and
Who is
apparently
steering this carriage?
yeah.
What the hell?
Well, it's a ghostly carriage, but it goes across bridges at Aylsham, Burr, Buxton, Cotteshall, Metton, Beela, Oxnead, Braesdon, and Wroxham, and does end up in Wroxham. And apparently, as it goes over the 12 bridges, people have seen a ghostly carriage that they believe is Sir Thomas Boleyn heading towards London to go and see his daughter. That's why it sort of goes across those, apparently so.
Okay.
And that apparently happens every 19th of May.
The thing is, he didn't have to do that. All he has to go to the woods. Apparently, she hangs around Blicklin Woods carrying her head. She's in Blicklin Road. She hangs around Blicklin Village Lanes as well, carrying her head. She also the estate. She's there. She hangs around the lake. They're everywhere. Why go? You don't have to go to London to see her, honestly. And oh, don't forget, she also seen in Essex. So Essex is another part. It's sort of like south, the east coast of. It's just where London sort of touches on the boundaries of Essex, and it goes to the coast. But she's seen all over Essex as well. And I don't know what she actually did, unless she stayed at Rochford Hall, because that's in Essex.
Yeah.
But they see a Tudor woman on the staircase and a figure in the garden, and that's automatically Anne Boleyn.
I feel like a lot of those probably aren't.
Like there would need to be consistency. Like she's consistently seen here carrying her head. Consistent. Like you can't just say you see a woman in a dress at that time and be like, oh shit, it's Anne. It's gotta be Anne. Nobody else from that time. None of his other wives. No. It's only Anne. Like.
Yep. And there's only a few of those sightings that have a headless woman or a woman carrying a head. It's often but then as we found out, nobody knows what Anne Boleyn looks like. So they can't, so we don't know what she looked like. There's no pictures.
And people also think not far from Blickling Hall, there's a village called Saul, and there's a church there, which apparently in some legends suggests she was actually buried in the graveyard of Saul Church, according to some of the legends. So her ghost is also seen there. And of course, and over in Kent, because at some point she lived in Haver Castle in Kent, and apparently she haunts the grounds, especially near the bridge of the River Eden. She goes
don't
everywhere.
forget, and she's also seen skirting along the River Thames, just walking along the river, on the river surface. She walks along that as well, apparently. So when we said that she's seen everywhere, she's seen everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's different. But the common thing is it's a Tudor, some say French Tudor-looking woman, but a woman wearing Tudor clothes.
I feel like that's a lot of women.
Head. Yes,
a lot of and a lot of women that died.
Yeah,
like at that time, like it wasn't a great time to be a female.
No.
So
actually, to be fair, it wasn't a good time to be anyone really. I mean,
correct.
It was just
yeah.
It was, but it's never been a good time to be a female though. Don't forget.
No,
never
and
been
definitely
a good time.
How would they know? I mean, I guess because like that's where she was born and her family and whatnot. But like, how do they know that that's George Boleyn, like her brother that they see? Like, just a little skepticism. I love the thought of it. Like, I think it would be so cool for like there to be this like, you guys have a country ghost. Oh my god, like that'd be cool. But it's like it's just a little too broad for me.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things of by pure coincidence, they're all places that link to her in some sort of tenuous link. Like, she was once living in this place, so therefore it's her. Although I do like the story from the Tower of London of in 1817, one of the guards that was patrolling the White Tower suffered a heart attack because he saw the ghost of Anne Boleyn.
Right, had nothing to do with climbing the stairs. Got it.
That's it, But did he? But the thing is, who knew that he saw Anne Boleyn after? Did he die, and then his ghost come back and said, "Because I saw Anne Boleyn's ghost"?
That's very true.
I
did he
like the
just-
idea of her as a
Oh,
ghost
oh,
running
my
around
arm.
going,
It was
that
Anne
guy just
Boleyn.
died because of me.
Yeah.
That guy just died because of me. Hi, I'm Anne Boleyn. That's definitely what happened.
She just like taps someone on the shoulder.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oop, my germs."
But one thing I do notice with all these locations where she's seen is that 90% of them are tourist locations trying to sell tickets.
Mm.
Who would have thought that?
Shock.
We discussed this in an earlier
Yeah.
podcast where we realized with the failing pub industry in the UK, the way to guarantee your pub stays alive is to have a ghost. And the amount of pubs we've seen who, like, about 2010, 2011, maybe 2020, when the pub trade was really struggling, they all discovered they had ghosts. Everybody has a ghost. And if you want to stay open, you have a ghost. And then you sell tickets to get people to come and stay overnight and see your ghosts. This whole list, nearly all of them are tourist attractions.
Oh
Yeah,
my
well,
gosh.
It's like I said to you in our
It's,
Great Yarmouth episode when we did about the Star Hotel, that there's all these different ghost stories across Great Yarmouth. And then nowadays you can book tickets to stay in one particular museum that apparently has all of these ghosts that have lived across the town, and the stories are across the town. All live in this one building, which is a museum, where you can pay for a ticket to spend the night to see all of these ghosts.
Of course. Of course. They had a town meeting and they were like, "Hey, so if everybody goes around and gathers their ghost and brings them here, then we can all split the funds."
Yeah.
Everyone
the
came
thing-
in with like their ghost catcher and was like, "I've got one."
Everybody's- But this is the thing, isn't it? If one of these locations there's a ghost really is at one or two of these, but you could believe that. Maybe it's like the disinformation, about UFOs, aliens. You throw in some real disinformation and nobody believes it. If you turn up at 48 of these places and you don't see a ghost ever, you may just not go to that one. Maybe she is haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think other
That's
than
why I like
going
the
through
Sheenley.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
We're going on an investigation actually next weekend at a place in Pennsylvania, and Jill was able to interview the people on a time that I was sick, so I couldn't record, and they just talked about how a lot of times people will show up to their location, and during what is the quote unquote most haunted time of the year around Halloween, and they'll be disappointed because they won't have a lot of interactions, and the owner and the manager, is that
I think she's just one of the workers there.
Oh, okay. They were talking about how these ghosts only put so much energy out, and that sometimes they're just not gonna
They just don't
show up. They're just it's just not a thing. And so they have so many accounts of like actual things happening, but then there are plenty of times where there just isn't anything. So and that's why I kind of believe so much in the other side and in spirits, because they're not here to show up and make a buck. Like, this is their life. These are their lives now, and it's like, if they don't want to interact with you, then they're not going to. But maybe you go somewhere thinking it's going to be a big thing and it's not, and then it's vice versa. And
not performing monkeys. They're
exactly.
And this goes back to when we went on our ghost hunt, and there was 4 groups, 5 groups, and only one group experienced stuff, and that was our group. None of the other groups did, even though they all went to the same place, did the same thing. Only one group, and it followed us. It came with us, so in different locations, and it was just it was really that for me that made it more believable. The fact
absolutely
it didn't perform for everybody.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably without just sitting here and now rather boringly listing all of those locations that Anne Boleyn's ghost has seen. I think that's a good point to wrap up the episode, probably.
Yeah, because I was just going to say I've been to a lot of these places and never seen a ghost. So not yet.
So then we have
There's
lack of eyewitness encounters. Then there you go.
Yeah, and I've been to
apparently if you
Blickling
do
Hall
spot, you
several
die.
times.
And if you did, you'd probably have a heart
You've
attack.
been where several times?
I've been to Blickling Hall several times and never felt anything weird there. So, yeah.
See, sometimes you just got to go with your gut.
Yeah, we've just got to go more often.
Yeah, we need to go on May the 19th.
May the 19th. We know
mean,
we're going to be.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
there's not a parade set up because, like, apparently they've got his, like, her dad's path, like, pretty well cleared out. Like, I'm surprised they don't have, like, cameras set up ready to take a shot. Like, we got
Yep.
the ghost. It's like, you guys seem to, like, have it GPS map quested out,
Mhm.
like, the ways this guy goes to the, like,
Oh.
that's interesting.
But we see
Yeah.
that a lot where they say it's on a particular nice well, it was which corn exchange was it that apparently Charles Dickens is seen outside on Christmas
Yes.
Eve? There's a particular corn exchange building in a
I
town,
can't
basically a
remember
town
which
hall.
one it was.
But apparently, yeah, Christmas Eve every year you will see Charles Dickens there. I haven't seen any pictures of Charles Dickens there. No one's ever said they've seen Charles Dickens there, but
Mhm.
apparently he's there on Christmas Eve every Christmas Eve. You
And-
can't say things like that without the evidence.
Yeah.
That's because
yeah.
Charles Dickens expels the ghosts into gas and gets his Welsh maid to set fire to them.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And Christopher Eccleston is there too, every year.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who's
he's
that?
talking Doctor Who. He's
Doctor
talking
Who.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So, well, you mentioned Game of Thrones. I thought I'd throw out a nerdy Doctor Who thing.
Wait, aren't you wearing
Um,
a Doctor Who shirt? Isn't that what that is?
It's general sci-fi, so it's all of the different ships.
And what speed they travel at.
Ooh, I know that.
I was
No,
gonna
no,
say,
what
where's
years?
yours?
Oh, no, yeah.
I know
Oh,
a long
that's
time
why.
ago.
That's why that's the infinity symbol. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's when they set
Because it's a
off,
time
that was it.
machine.
Got it. My
Yeah.
son just started watching it, so he's very very excited.
Just
I was
make
like,
sure you
don't-
watch the old classic stuff. Don't watch the new stuff.
I was like, don't ask me anything. I don't know anything about it. Like, just watch it. I have no idea.
Right. Well, I think we'll say goodbye to you, lovely ladies, and wrap up the
Thank you.
episode. So, thank you. And to our listeners, do go and search for the Bantering Banshees. They basically do similar thing to us, only they're two lovely
With a
ladies.
lot more energy and a lot more
Yeah.
professionally. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the two things.
Yeah, they actually go out
Professional.
and
gosh,
research.
No.
Oh, no.
No, that's just Jill's really good editing.
It's all saved in the edit. That was-
So enjoy their collab because you will hear us over on their channel soon, or already. Who knows which order these are going to be out? Whether yours is going to be first, whether they go out the same day, who knows? But yeah, future people, hello. Yeah,
See what I mean? You're so much more professional than this lot.
yeah.
When I,
You just wait.
Yeah, wait for ours.
But yeah, Jill and Steph, Bantering Banshees, thank you for joining us. And as always, those of you that are listening, do search for us on all the socials, look at our Patreon and so on and so forth. Look at the website, look at all of Steve's amazing stuff that he puts on the website. Yeah, and that's goodbye from me.
goodbye from me.
Bye now.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.